It's been 84 years.
It is 9 a.m. Thursday, June 6th. Matt McGall coming to you live from 330 to go. And this is the Sports Talk Show. And guess what? I just beat Katie. Let's go ahead. Let's see if I get there first. I beat Katie. All right. Yes, I did. Katie, good morning. Okay. Everyone else, good morning. It's a little inside. Well, not an inside joke. You pay attention, you'd be a part of the joke. So every week, Katie, there she is. Good morning. I always look forward to it. It makes my day. It makes my day. Seriously. Katie, when everyone stops listening, you and I will just grab coffee at McDonald's, okay? And we'll talk sports every Tuesday and Thursday when they cancel me for something stupid I say, right? Exactly. Guys, the finals, it's here. We're ready for it. Tonight finally starts. This is how I felt all week. And when I saw this, I had to grab it and I had to add it, okay? This is how I think it should be. My goodness. Is Jason Tatum even alive? Is that man just like sitting around? He's probably kicking it with KD and friends down in Cancun for the last week. This is how long it's been since I feel like we've seen some NBA basketball. Highly anticipated. I'm excited for it. I really am. I think there is some great storylines to be had in this NBA Finals. Kyrie, you've heard me rambling on about him nonstop for the last few weeks. I'm excited to see this guy go. All right. Back in the finals. I like it because secretly I rooted for the Mavs back when they beat the Heat because I didn't want LeBron to win then. All right. So I got this little bit of like this Mavs fan base in my mind where I'm like, all right, I rooted for him before, so I can definitely, and I'm going for him. That's who I want. I'm hands down. I'm picking Dallas to win this with my heart. And I do think with my mind, but we'll see how that plays out. We're going to talk a little bit of that today. So like I'd put in the comments, good morning. We're going to talk the Lakers. We're talking Kyrie returning, the finals storylines that are going on. Some WNBA drama still continues, all right? And top 5 Cavs uniforms. Start thinking about them right now because when I get to them, if you can find them, share them down there in the comments, post them along, all right? And then also the Browns got some news. So let's talk with them. So let's get right to the storylines. Dallas traveling over to Boston starts tonight. Here's right off the rip, guys. Right off the rip. That's what that looked like less than a few years ago. Okay. Tatum and Kyrie could have easily been to the finals together. All right. Luka and Porzingis, does that squad, does that tandem get to the finals? I don't know. I really don't. And it made me really think in depth about that a little bit more because if you switch these two right now and you put Porzingis, both healthy, both in their prime, you put Porzingis back with Dallas, do you like Dallas's chances to win this series? I don't. I would probably then take Boston because I think it's Kyrie. I think Kyrie is the pure factor in all this. All right. Then when we break it down and we start looking at some of the bigs and how it moves over to that, Porzingis is coming back. That's the big news out of Boston is he's ready to play. They're all secretly worried about how he's going to gel, if the team's going to continue to stay the course. They're not exactly sure. All right. So Porzingis is returning. But in Boston, guess who they're talking about? Kyrie. We all know back in the day when he played with the Nets, he gave them a nice little one-handed gesture, one-finger gesture. Kyrie's already came out and said, stupid, that's not me. That's not a reflection of who I am. I've came a long way. That's exactly right. So that's the part where Boston's like, man, this is the guy we thought we were getting when we made that, when we fleeced the Cleveland Cavs, okay? And this is how they're looking at him now. This is what Drew Holiday comes out and says when they ask, how are you going to stop Kyrie? He says, pray. He didn't even, there's some sincerity to that, but at the same time, they have a really big game plan. Those two going in tonight, Porzingis' return, how's that going to look? What's Boston going to kind of flow like on the offensive side? How many minutes is he going to play? I mean, calf strains, I'm going to say all the time, they're no joke. And it's tough to come back. If Kyrie gets it going, I fully anticipate Dallas to take game 1. And I think as soon as that happens, oh boy, the floodgates are going to open and you're going to be turning on your TV. And that's what people are going to be talking about is Dallas is the real deal. Boston. It's the easiest slot Boston's ever had to get to the finals. Period, point blank. I don't care what anybody thinks, what anybody's saying. It's not happening. All right. So I got Dallas tonight, 100% in that. But this is what Dallas is going to have to worry about. This picture right here I found too is very intriguing. This is back when the Nets, when I had mentioned Kyrie had given that one-handed gesture. But I want you to really take a look at it. And the arrow should be a dead giveaway. That's Kyrie, Nets uniform, stomping on the Celtics logo. Boston fans are 100% going to remember that and know that. But in the background, is the world not work in weird ways? That's a Dallas Mavericks logo. That was just a banner because at the time they were probably talking about an upcoming game or something along that lines, and that was the advertisement. But what a picture. Kyrie, when Kyrie was a lost cause, so, Boston, that whole storyline, and then there's Dallas in the back. You can't make those things up, okay? They can't make those things up. That's the exact same thing that they're doing over in the WNBA. It's a storyline. You can't make these things up. So which backcourt is going to be the better backcourt tonight? With how it is, everybody's where they're at. Kyrie, Luka against Brown and Tatum. That is a great matchup. I got to give the favorites in points, rebounds to Kyrie and Luka. Luka pulls in 10 every game, it feels like. Okay. That's going to be a big part. So you kind of do that, or you could just say it's a toss-up, complete wash. Let's just say that was a wash. Now we're going to go over to the other side, and that's where I think Lively, this rookie, and Derek Jones, those are two big key pieces. Gafford is another one. The bigs, I like the core pieces that are around Dallas. I like those role players. I think that they are more family atmosphered than Boston is. We all know it's the Tatum. And then if Brown gets his, Brown winning that MVP is very interesting. And I mentioned it last week because of this exact reason of why I'm thinking what I'm thinking. Brown's got to step it up and put up 20 plus a game to be able to keep the pace, because over there, even if Kyrie scores under 20, that means Lively, Gafford, and Jones have gotten theirs. Because if Kyrie's assists are up, that means somebody else has been fed. So I like that. You can start to see why I'm favoring Dallas, right? But the backcourt between those two, watch those two out. Look at those bigs. Pay attention. Seriously, tonight, when you're watching the game, watch Dallas's big. Lively is a game changer. I like that kid an awful lot. It was a great pick that they had in the draft this past year. So tonight, tune in. Dallas, go get them. Make me sound like I know what I'm talking about. And in other news, in the NBA, what is going on with the Lakers? Man, this storyline just keeps taking off. LeBron's not coming to Cleveland, right? What happens if he still came? What happens if this? All this is to keep LeBron. Do you notice that they're putting out a tweet? So if you don't know what's going on, wake up, get your coffee, start listening. This is where I'm going to catch you up real quick and save you from having to watch 30 minutes of the TV. Here it is in a nutshell. It's what everyone's talking about. Hurley, coach, UConn. Lakers, a lot of money. They're giving it to him. That's it. They're going to give him a huge, huge offer, and they're going to make it irresistible that if he really wants to chase the monetary value, he's going to be the Lakers coach. Does that translate? Okay. Hurley is a great coach, and what he's done at UConn, winning back-to-back championships, does that translate? So here we go. What do we think? It's very tough. Think about it. Fred Hoiberg. Here's some names. Iowa State Bulls, no longer there. He's coaching back in Nebraska. Brad Stevenson is the difference. Stevens coached, but now is in the front office, and he's making lots of moves. And he is the reason that the Celtics are in the finals right now. Huge part. Reggie Theus, New Mexico to Sacramento Kings. Didn't work out. Okay. Patino with the Celtics. We know how that worked out. Calipari. We know how that worked out. That didn't go well either. And even if you're near and dear to your heart, Beeline. Okay. He comes to the Cavs. That didn't work out. Do you know how hard it is to translate from the collegiate level into the NBA? Point blank, when you think about it, it's tough to be able to. It's one thing to coach kids, it's another to coach grown men who make way more than you. Okay. It's like a reversal. Okay. It's really tough. Like, could you imagine walking up to your boss and be like, let me tell you what's up? Okay. Because that's just kind of how it's supposed to be in the pecking order. The player's supposed to listen to the coach. But these players, some of them are going to could be great coaches if they weren't great players. Okay. That's probably the livelihood that they have. LeBron is the focal point of all this because they're pulling up a tweet from a couple of months ago about how LeBron tweeted who? JJ Redick. That's who I think is the next, was going to be the next Lakers coach. JJ Redick. It's between Hurley and Redick. That's it. Why? Because LeBron has ties somehow to both of them. So they're trying to connect the tie into that. LeBron made a tweet, said something about, hey, I really like how Hurley's offense rolls all of his coaching staff. I like what they're doing. That's the thumbs up for the Lakers to go hire him. Huh? The Lakers are scrambling. I see this as a complete sign that the Lakers are trying to keep LeBron in-house. That's it. And I got to ask myself, he's the best player for sure. I don't even want to get in that argument. That's not where I'm going with this. Why? He's for a year. Talk about a ring chase. I mean, he's a year or two away. He's talked about it. He's moving on. He's at we as fans, I don't want to see it happen. I wish LeBron would be like his commercials and play into gray hair and gray beard. And I want that guy still dominate. Could you imagine exactly looking like Bill Russell and just still dominating some of these kids? Okay. Like LeBron just coming up the court being like, you know what? I used to work your father over. Now I'm going to work you over on the court. That'd be amazing. I don't want him to retire, but he's going to retire. It's going to happen. It's not forever. So with that being said, where are we at? Well, let's go hire a coach from the collegiate level who is very successful, building a dynasty there with UConn. And he's going to save the Lakers unless, here's that conspiracy moment, LeBron really wants his son to be coached by him. Now that is intriguing. The Lakers hold that 17th pick, and if anybody's noticed, it would be rather interesting for them to be able to push the idea that Bronny, who was supposedly outside the top 60, is now inside the top 25. That justifies the Lakers being able to take him at 17. Or Lakers can gamble, trade out of 17, pick up pieces and parts in the draft assets, and be able to draft Bronny later. That would be probably the best move. But ultimately, maybe LeBron just wants his son to be coached by him. Maybe that's what the Lakers are thinking. I don't know. Time will tell, and we will find out. But JJ Redick, he looks a little rough right now. I don't know if it's happening. I really don't know if it's happening. They just, honest to God, I think what they just want though is guys who believe in ball. Just all about ball, all about basketball, live it, breathe it, all day, any day. Why am I saying that? Did anybody see KD in the club practicing his jump shot? I thought that was awesome. Why was that news? Okay, because I'll randomly do dumb stuff while I'm filling up my gas. Okay, like, turn around and act like I still have the ability to cross somebody between my legs. Honestly, I don't think I can dribble between my legs at this point in my life, period. I don't even know if I could have when I was 13. All right. But KD's at the club and he's kicking it and he's literally just practicing his jump shot. All right. And then I see this and I scrolled across this and I thought this was absolutely hilarious. It's funny. It's all in good humor. So please take it as that. I did not, but yes, I am saying I thought it was funny. So KD, it comes out and says, nobody embodies ball as life like KD. 30 million in his 30s, no wife, girlfriend, no kids. The lotion comment is interestingly funny. No brush or comb. Look at the hair. KD's just living his life. He's out there just kicking it. But the ones that I really thought were the best was he has the burner account. We all remember the joke about the burner account when he was sitting there commenting on his own. If you haven't, go look that up. And then he's working on his jump shot in the club. This man is always thinking about basketball. Ain't that the truth? Could you imagine? I mean, think about that. When you're a kid and you have these dreams and admirations and all these ideas that you're what you're going to grow up to be, and you literally just get to be a basketball player. You get to take a game and make it your life and make a living. That's amazing. That is absolutely like I'm just like it's very simple when you think about it, but very, 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 very difficult to do. And KD, gosh, talk about a guy I'm starting to get a soft spot for because you'd like to just see him. It's interesting if he's in the playoffs, if he's continued in the finals. So hopefully they get back to that. And thank you, KD, for creating that moment and just being just being absolutely awesome in the club and just, yeah, I had a good time, but I'm working on it. I'm still all about ball. Other NBA news: the Utah Jazz are bringing it back. They are bringing back the '90s. Thank you, greatest era ever. Love the '90s. God, am I getting old when I talk like that's the greatest era of my life? All right, but there they are. You guys could probably remember the slightly being along the lines of when they got beat by the Chicago Bulls. So that's the look that the Utah Jazz are getting back into. And it made me start thinking about the 90s and everything and other uniforms. And it got me thinking about the Cavaliers zigzag. Okay. Here we go. The controversy behind everybody hating that uniform in the 90s is real. All right. So when I started reading and looking into it, wow, did I find out a lot of interesting things. There's a great article out there about actually how they got away from the zebra uniform by going into these other later Cavs uniforms, which I would love to down the line be able to get the connecting this out because the story, there's a kid, his father was the creator behind that. And then there's this idea or theory that the Seattle Sonics actually stole the design because the design was sent to the NBA. And I don't know, very interesting, but it got me thinking about uniforms and Cavs. And here we are at that point where I mentioned a little bit earlier, top 5 Cavs uniforms of all times. And I'm not going to lie, I like the zebra. Okay. And I'm not going to lie. So no particular order because if I can't do it, but I just picked the 5 that I was always intrigued by, loved watching, thought they showed up on the television, just were sweet. Okay. And here's mine, not going to lie. All right. So the 1983-87. Now these were all worn in the LeBron era, except for I think the zebra one. I don't ever remember LeBron being in the 94-97 zebra ones, but right here, I'm loving this. If you notice, I like the black uniforms. I think that those were always really cool, but you have the zebra one up there. The bottom left wasn't worn a ton. That was kind of like that little mash up of, they had the maroon one with the exact same piping coming down the side on the sleeves. When they took the old traditional colors off of the zebra and kind of made that version, there's actually a picture of Tony Parker, not Parker, Candace Parker's brother. What was his name? It was Parker, but it wasn't Tony. The middle one, right down the center with 23 on it, you know it. That's when, I mean, as I look at the uniform, I can hear LeBron screaming, "Cleveland, this is for you." Like, thanks for that. That's everywhere. That's a sound bite for life. The bottom right one, that kind of goes back to that Bingo Smith era when he was rocking the old school emblem, and then they kind of mashed that up. I really, really like that. And the orange one, just because if you went to the Richfield Coliseum, you saw that uniform. I'm sorry. Every time I drive up 77, I'm just like, oh God, wouldn't that be great if that was still there? Like, someone replicate that. Gosh, would that not be just sweet? Make that. Oh, here's a real good idea for all you AAU fans and all that. Like, you need these facilities. Someone go replicate the Coliseum and make that a venue for some of these basketball tournaments. Oh my God. You're welcome. There's a free one. That's a free idea that I just handed out there. And that's not a bad one. At least I liked it. All right. So guys, share in your comment section some of your guys' favorite uniforms, Cavs uniforms. Seriously, go ahead, take a couple pictures, screenshot those, drop those in there if you could. Moving on in the WNBA, the drama continues. Gino Ariama, and I'm probably not saying that correctly, the UConn ladies female basketball coach, has came out and said that there's players that it is obvious they are targeting Caitlin. They are absolutely targeting Caitlin. And so that kind of filters around it. And then apparently, while the Chicago Sky were visiting the Washington Mystics, a fan decided to bombard the Chicago Sky players, going after Chennedy Carter again and others, about how her foul on Caitlin was inappropriate. And I guess there's some kind of video out there. I'm not exactly sure if Chennedy Carter has it or if the fan I'm not exactly 100. They said there was video and it was taken down. So we'll see as this whole thing kind of rolls out. But they're screaming at her over this foul that she got physical with Caitlin Clark. Guys, we can sit and analyze this and talk about it and have normal discussions. Approaching a bus and making those, I don't even know what the comments truly were from the fan, but go blog about it. Go jump on like one of the little forums and type your thoughts. You don't need to go get in the face of these players. At the end of the day, they're human. So there's a lot of comments from the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese, if you hear Chicago Sky, let me just give you this hook right here for the rest of your life to remember. You hear from moving forward, Chicago Sky, Angel Reese's name is right behind. She is going to be a huge focal point of speaking for that because that's the identity. They want to be outspoken, and that's perfectly fine, and it brings attention, and that's great. But man, you don't always have to be involved because then you're the constant variable. I don't know. Food for thought on that one. But as a joke, the Indiana Fever have went out and they have signed a new enforcer. Yes, you've got it right. Jermonda Green is coming to the Indiana Fever, and she is not going to take any of this stuff, none of these fouls on Caitlin. She is here to stay. She is enforcing. You keep your hands off of Caitlin. You keep them off of her, or Draymond will drop you. And we all know what Draymond is capable of. As much as I joke, I would take him in a heartbeat. I really would. I think he's that player that you hate, but man, you love him when he's on your squad. Like if I guarantee you Golden State fans, true Golden State fans will just be like, oh, focal point. Okay. Definite focal point. He's like Rodman-esque in my mind. And you need those players. Those players are big pieces and parts of championship winning teams. And we're going to find out again tonight when the NBA kicks off. We're going to see. And I'm telling you, Gafford, watch that name. That's one that I really like. All right. So NFL news, the Browns making headway as well. Chubb comes out and says, I'm exactly where I need to be. That is great news. And as you kind of been following that, we've all thought the surgeries have went well. Everything has been on the up and up. No staph infections. We're not talking about that, even though I just said it. So jinx. That was wood. Okay, so we're good. He's came out and said he wasn't in the best mind frame when he got hurt. That made me a little nervous because to me, Chubb is the pinnacle point of the mentality of the Cleveland Browns. He embodies everything that I think Cleveland fans that wish they could put on an orange helmet every Sunday is. He just goes to work, does his job, and shuts his mouth. Wow. Thank you. Give me 22 of you. I take that back. I'll take 28 because I'm going to need 6 for special teams. 11 on defense, 11 on offense. And my 6 special teamers. All with Chubb's mentality. Be fun to win. Be fun to win that way. So he's in a good spot. It says that his knee's on the up and up. So Cleveland's feeling great. They're excited. And what do they go and do? They just keep the love coming and they extend Barry and Stefanski. So all the ladies and 330, you've got to be excited. You're going to tune in every Sunday to be able to watch exactly probably what every one of your husbands or significant others or any male probably sometimes wishes, because apparently Kevin Stefanski is the ladies' hype from what I've seen. There's women that just watch just because of him. They're like, can they show the coach a little more? I'm like, nah, I'd like to watch the game, please. But then there's Kevin just going down the sidelines with that piece of paper, just like this, always talking into it and hiding. So Kevin, congratulations. It's a different era for Cleveland. 100% a different era for us. We are back at the point where we are stability. It's nice. This is nice. I'm happy we get to attempt to see if this will work, because we have not been able to do that with any other coach. And that's how you have to look at it. I'm sorry as a Browns fan, if you are thinking, oh, they shouldn't have done that. Stop. What do you want to do? Reset it again? You want to hit the panic button again? No. We haven't had stability ever. 99. I'm not talking about that gap in before. Okay. When I talk about where the Browns are as an organization currently, always moving forward, it'll be 99 to current. When we talk about the history and legacy of what it is to be a Cleveland Brown, I'll pull that stuff from the past. And that's not a put down on the past. That's just that things reset. The idea, the thought, the message, the mentality, that moved. We had to reestablish that. And where we're at by being able to extend a GM and a coach, wow. Is Jimmy Haslam not telling you, I'm committed to this? Guys, the Browns may be the next Cleveland team to win a title. I don't think I thought that 3 weeks ago. Okay. Maybe I did. All right. Yeah, more than likely. Browns are the next ones. Everyone's thinking that, right? Tribe playing well. Oop, I said it. My bad. Nix that. Go back in time. The Guardians are playing well. Gosh, I just got caught. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody who's offended. I screwed up. I did. You caught me on air, and I shouldn't have said that. And I am saying that with a straight face. Sorry. Kind of. All right. Guardians. They've been playing very well. They could win a title. Totally could win a title. But time will tell. But I like the move, being able to say, hey, we're going to keep our GM and our coach, and we're not going to flip one out. We're not going to go on a search for the other, and we're not going to turn into the Lakers. Okay. We're not chasing. Okay. We got Ramirez, and we're going to roll. All right. Banner wise, guys, I hadn't got to it yet, but let's take a quick little scroll through it. Red Sox 9-0 winner over the Braves. Cardinals a 4-2 winner over the Astros. Reds win over the Rockies 12-7. Giants a 9-3 winner over the Diamondbacks. Phillies beat the Brewers 2-0. The Mets a 9-1 winner over the Nationals. Pirates 10-6 winner over the Dodgers. Rays a 5-3 winner over the Marlins. Yankees beat the Twins 9-5. Twins. Interesting story on the Twins right now. The Twins are going to have their city uniforms coming out. And, if you guys haven't noticed, I like the uniform talk. So be on the lookout for those Twins City Connects unis as they're going to be coming out here in the next week or so. Jays a 3-2 winner over the Orioles. Cubs 7-6 over the White Sox. Rangers 9-5 over the Tigers. Angels 3-2 over the Padres. And your Guards got rained out yesterday, but they're back at it today as Tanner Bibee gets the ball on the bump. That's code for the mound at 110. So fun stuff right there. Fun stuff. Also, I completely jumped out of order and missed the opportunity to talk about this. Christian McCaffrey. I thought this was really interesting as I'm going backtracking here. Got a $38 million 2 years. And this Christian McCaffrey is resetting the running back market. But this is the total TD leaders since 2015. Okay. So you're going to pay the man because he's got 81 TDs. Do we see right at the bottom where it says Todd Gurley? Todd Gurley, the reason I thought this interesting is Derrick Henry with the Ravens. Devontae Adams, still in Oakland. Zeke, still kicking it around. He's going to go back to Dallas. Okay. Tyreek, got a lot of those TDs in KC. Mike Evans, still active. Christian McCaffrey, like I mentioned, got paid $38 million over 2 years. Todd Gurley hasn't played football since 2020. Let that sink in. Let's rewind to the beginning of the show when I said it's June 6th, 2024. He hasn't played since 2020, and he is one of the top 10 TD leaders since 2015. That is so impressive. I don't think people realize how impressive that is. Hasn't played, still there. That's the kind of numbers that guy was tuning out right there. So even as I wanted to give Christian McCaffrey his props in that sense, I was blown away by Todd Gurley's statistics of still being in the top 10 and hasn't played in 3 years. Whew. Man, the longevity. That's what you need. The longevity. You got it. You got to be relevant. If you're not, what's the point, right? All right, guys, enjoy the long weekend. I say long weekend because take tomorrow off, all right? You guys have already gotten everything done. You sat and listened to me. Take the long weekend off. Get outside. The weather looks like it's going to be turning, right? We're in a good trending pattern, hopefully, right? It is Ohio. I just said that. So as I say that, there's probably hail coming down, and 3 o'clock will be snowflakes. But if you're out and about and you're looking around, start looking at some of those yard signs that happen to have for sale in it. And if you're interested in buying or selling, call your boy. All right. Absolutely call me. I'm happy to show you any of those properties where you're like, oh, wonder what the inside of that house looks like. Give me a call, because if you're serious about it, I'll happily get it done for you. So there's all my information rolling at the bottom. You can always find me up in the corner. Always is that awesome little business card with my dome on it. All right. So come back again Monday morning when Jess kicks us off and gets our week started and catches us up from the weekend. And then I'll be back here again on Tuesday. All right. So we'll be talking some NBA news for sure. Until then, go say something nice to somebody you don't know. I am definitely starting to make that my little ending catchphrase because I do like it. All right. I need to live by it too. I forget about doing it often. So, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys back here again Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Thank you so much.